Welcome everybody to another exhilarating prison tour episode of Lockdown 23 in 1. That's right, today I got an older clip showing the inside of a notorious prison in Massachusetts. Walpole. Hopefully I pronounced it right. Yesterday's episode I said it was in New York. My apologies. For some reason, Walpole and Attica kind of get blended together in my mind. Either way, another reason why I'm doing this video, not only is it interesting, never seen the inside of this prison, but also because they're due to be shutting it down this summer. And I hate to say that this is going to be kind of nostalgic to some, but really it is. A lot of people that probably watch my content has done years behind the walls in this prison. So let's get right into it. If you enjoy this type of content, all things lockup and crime related, then this is absolutely where you need to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today.
In Massachusetts, Walpole State Prison is the end of the line. It houses 700 of the state's most violent, unmanageable offenders. 300 corrections officers come to work here every day. Their job is to impose order onto an environment that constantly threatens to spin out of control.
How you doing?
Yeah, this is some old footage here. I love it.
This security checkpoint is the only way in or out. Since it was opened in 1956, no one has ever escaped from Walpole.
Wow, no one's ever escaped this prison.
Do you know that aluminum foil is contraband? Thank you.
Had no idea, ma'am.
You're in it right, Rich, just in case you guys get lost in there. I don't think you want to spend the night, right?
What do they make out of aluminum foil?
They make just about anything. They make little bombs out of it. They use matches. Anything with a spark on it. It's not allowed in an institution.
How do you make a bomb out of aluminum foil?
If you have 24 hours in your cell, you can think of a lot of ways. You have some smart inmates in here.
That's right, don't put nothing past anyone with enough time.
We can come to work one morning and not go home. And certainly that plays heavily on your mind sometimes. We've had people quit the first day that they come in. Some people it takes a little bit longer, but you know within a short period of time whether this is for you or not.
He's absolutely right, though. I've seen a lot of correctional officers come in and leave within the next day or two. It's usually based upon the inmate population, how they treat the COs. You know, some places they don't treat them bad, and they end up staying around for quite a while. But I was in a cell block just like this, man. I remember it like it was yesterday. Almost exactly the same. A little bit better shape in here, believe it or not. And what I was in was falling apart. Made this place look like the Hilton.
We came here to follow an 11-member team known officially as the Inter-Perimeter Security Unit, or IPS. They are the police in a world composed entirely of the state's most hardened criminals.
Never heard of that before. I've heard of the Goon Squad.
Repetitive misbehavior at other institutions. We have inmates serving sentences in here ranging from drug convictions to multiple homicides, and it runs the entire gamut. It's not just based on your crime. The majority of it is based on your behavior.
Code Blue.
Within hours, one gang member has slashed another.
Oh no, we got a slashing. Gang fight. Oh. Homeboy came out, he said, "You pulled a shank out on me?" Look, that's kind of like a dry snitch move. Even if he did, he can't say it around the police because now they know. The other inmate replied calling him a bitch or whatever, but me personally, if I was in that dude's shoes, I'd be like, "Man, really? You're gonna say that in front of all these police? I'ma spread word," right? And it's up to you if you want to do something like telling the person who stabbed you in prison. Give details as to what kind of weapon they have, but look, you heard what they said, it was a gang fight. When you're in an organization, even if you get got, you can't say nothing about any of that stuff to anyone in prison unless it's your homeboys. When it comes to staff of any nature, you do not disclose any kind of information about the altercation. But yeah, we're witnessing what? I don't even know what year this is coming from. Probably the late 80s, early 90s if I were to guess, but they're dry snitching even back then. Told y'all it's been happening since the time of day, and now with social media, you're going to see way more of it. Let's listen to it again. Listen.
Yo, you put a shit.
Johnny.
Come out of here.
The IP security unit has recovered the weapon, a handmade steel shank.
Yeah, okay, just hang on.
I want something that's tampered with down
That
there.
might be it. 2 screws.
It looks a little long for the clamp.
These guys trying to break down the dang shank. You hear all the voices? 2 screws. You break down a little clamp here. If you catty corner it to the left. Bro, it's just a piece of metal sharpened. Come on now, fellas. Oh, we gotta run that small talk back, man.
The IP security unit has recovered the weapon, a handmade steel shank.
Yeah, okay, just hang on.
What's this thing made out of here, boys?
2 screws.
It looks a little long for the clamp. The spoon is rounded. He may have cut that. Yeah, it is cut on the end.
Last year alone, 98 inmates were seriously assaulted at Walpole, and 260 weapons were found.
Where they getting that from, Jimmy?
Gavino Rivera's cell.
If this is the way society wants to run their prisons in an orderly fashion, we have to investigate crimes within the prison. We're not going to call the local police to come in here and do that. It's our jurisdiction, it's our responsibility to do that.
Your metal comes down and it folds right back up again on the other side. I'm pulling that off, snapping that off. Front still looks the same, but the back edge is gone.
Back in these days, the COs had fun doing what they did. You could tell they're energetic about these shanks, man, trying to get to the scoop of things. Nowadays, the COs find something, they just leave it there. Say they're short-staffed.
My brain is blank.
Through the process of interrogation, the security unit hopes to gain information about other homemade weapons hidden within the cell block.
Don't tell them, bro.
Hey, if he kicks something in later on, we can do something for him.
Oh, man, that's how it all starts. If you kick something on over to him, he'll give us something, you know what I mean? You know he's working magic with that stash. Any CO back then, from the 70s to early 90s, if they had a stash like this, they're about their business. But at the same time, they could have a little crooked in their step. You never know, man, you never know.
Yeah.
No guarantees out, naturally, but...
Yeah, he says he's all done because for informational purposes, his information line's done.
Okay.
Because if he goes back now, he's a fucking hero, you know what I'm saying?
Now I think the next one may be shaking the whole block. I'm waiting for that one next.
You know it's coming. You know it's coming. That's all right, but we gotta be able to, I don't know, we gotta be able to go in there and take our time. Really take our time. And just go through every little thing that's in there.
The interrogation proves successful, and Lieutenant Grossi orders a surprise shakedown of the cell block known as Plymouth 2.
So they said that the interrogation about the shanks was successful. They didn't show the video of that, but someone told something. Here comes the shakedown. But this is the thing. Even if an inmate didn't give them any information about anything, they still would have went in there. That's supposed to be the protocol. You find some weapons in a cell block, chances are they're about to turn that puppy inside out. And the inmates know that, right? They're already prepared. They ain't gonna, if I were to guess, they ain't gonna find nothing. And if they do, it's gonna be in a good hide spot, probably to where nobody can be blamed for it.
What's your 20 right now?
Give him your name.
45, 44, 43. Let's go. All right. All set. Ready? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go. All right. The block.
Stack on me, stack on me.
Alex, I hear all these toilets flushing. Does that mean anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably flushing things they're not supposed to have in their cells.
Yep.
Little paperwork, maybe even weapons.
That was the first thing he said. You hear all the flushing. Yeah, that should have already been done. After someone gets caught with weapons, an altercation, man, you got to start hiding stuff. Also, typically nowadays, they shut the water off before they even come in. This is an older prison. I don't know if they even have, a maintenance room to be able to shut off everybody's water separately from each unit. Chances are they don't. That's probably why they didn't do it.
Shakedowns are a logistical nightmare. The goal is to empty all 45 cells while keeping gang members from attacking one another.
We gotta be real careful in this block.
Mirror game, man. I used to bid all day looking at my mirror.
There's 5 sectors of 9 inmates each. Those 9 are compatible with each other. And if we kind of intermingle sectors, we're asking for troubles. Be cognizant of who's out with who. We're gonna try to stay within the sectors. Okay. Danny, what we're looking for also are those hard toothbrushes, the Oral-B's. Do you know what they look like?
Yeah.
Take those.
Take those.
Yeah,
Okay.
take them. This line of business is kind of paramilitary. I like to look at it as paramilitary as opposed to being like a police department.
I look at it more along the lines of like storage wars. Not paramilitary, man. You're going in a cell looking for goods.
My father was in the service, so I'm an Army brat. So I think that brought me a long way because he was kind of a squared away person. He liked to have his uniform squared away and his boots shined. So you learn from that.
Oh man. Headset.
Been having a problem with these eyeglasses because they're inside these earpieces. That's what they are. There's a sharp metal thing that's already sharpened to a point, and these guys been stripping off the plastic and using these as weapons. Let's go see what this guy's up to.
That flimsy little piece of metal in the glasses would probably be used for something else, like a soldering gun. The only way I see an inmate making a shank out of glasses like that is if he had like 10 pairs, strip them all down, melt them, solder them together, and sharpen it up. So if you're asking me, the CO's reaching a little bit with the glasses. But at least he's checking all his ends, even back then, huh?
Yeah, stand over in the slop sink. Why? Because you can't be with these dudes. Right in the slop sink. All right? What's up with these? These inmates try to be intimidating, so you kind of call their bluff. You have to know when they're not bluffing, of course, but you have to meet force with force, and we will always come out the victor. You got a prescription for these?
I use them just for fun. Around.
Yeah? Around, huh? Yeah, okay. We'll be checking that out. I don't give.
The guys in the second tier, if you notice, I've been constantly looking up.
I don't know if that's what you should say in prison, man.
If they start going astray or if they're doing something silly, I'm going to be right on it.
Keo Van or Van Keo?
These guys, man.
Because,
paramilitary?
Moving those. Where's the two ends?
You don't know. He threw them in the trash.
He's not going to be able to get a new pair.
That's correct. He says he needs them for round, not even reading. Little retrieving line here, fellas. When they're locked in, they can send, they can put a weight on the end of it and send things around to anybody on the block. You know,
fishing line.
Here, and the next guy will pass it down. It's a way of getting things around. It's toothbrush out because it looks like it may be one of the ones we're looking for.
Oh yeah, that's about a 60-footer fishing line right there.
There was another question I had too. Van Keo, K-E-O. Can we check and see if he's got a current prescription on eyeglasses?
What is that?
Oh, stinger.
Oh.
This is a heating device. It's two pieces of metal. Usually, as you can see, it's an old nail clipper. As long as you keep them separated by a piece of
Ain't
cardboard
nothing's
or
changed.
plastic, you can plug this into the wall, and this will start heating up cherry red.
Same old stinger.
They put it in a cup of water, and it boils
for the last 30, 40 decades.
That is that if it gets wicked hot, like you would have it, you know, on top of your stove, you can throw it at the staff.
Got your stinger.
That's very true, though. You know, you can boil water to eat ramen noodles or whatever, cook food. At the same time, some baby oil to throw on a correctional officer. Peel the skin back to the white meat, man. It happens all the time. Maybe not all the time, but it's happened quite a bit of time throughout time. But man, every time I see this mirror, man, I just put myself in the dude's shoes. I used to look down that damn corridor, catwalk with that mirror all day during lockdown. Nothing else to do, man. Nothing else to do. Smoke tattoo, look in the mirror, daydream about going home. You want that kind of life? Then hey, prison's right around the corner for you.
Year, 24 officers, or nearly 10% of the workforce, were violently assaulted by inmates, often during routine operations like this.
Somebody's got to watch your back. I mean, you can't be doing it. You got your eye in that camera right there. Some of these guys, I'm telling you, you know, you turn your back and you get lax and you walk into tears. Someone can reach out and do something silly to you. Even if it's not life-threatening, you still don't want to be disrespected like that. So.
You gotta watch that camera guy, man. He's gonna get jumped. He's gonna get stabbed. The camera guy.
Man, that guy just said the cameraman is gonna get jumped, stabbed. You better watch him. I wonder why the cameraman talking out the side of his neck when the COs ain't looking. Recording the inmates, you piece of shit. Get back in your cell. Inmate looks at the camera guy, can't tell if it was him or not. Man, look at them old Fila pumps. Wait, I don't know if Fila had pumps.
Alright, listen up.
Y'all know what I mean.
9 block, Lucio, Cox, Cahill.
Look at this ragtag crew here.
This morning, the security unit is trying to head off a racial conflict. Left unchecked, this is the sort of activity that can set off riots.
Racial tension in the
Sergeant
cell
Steve
block.
Kennedy and Alex Rodriguez are assigned to a surveillance operation to monitor the inmates. From an observation gallery, Alex serves as the eyes, watching the inmates through one-way mirrored glass.
We picked up some information yesterday that possible racial problem was happening yesterday. There was a large number of blacks and a large number of whites. Had a discussion. From there, they dispersed. And what we're doing today is just keeping an eye on what we call like the heavies. Guys who pretty much have a lot of word or say in the block.
The heavies is what they call those, I guess you could say, shot callers. And that's typically what happens, especially after they witness two large groups of black and white guys speaking or discussing something within the pod or the yard. They know something's up. That typically never happens unless they're planning on doing something together or trying to solve some kind of beef without a bunch of people dying. These shot callers or group of head honchos will group up with their little soldiers around them and chit-chat, just like a coin toss at the Super Bowl. Not quite like that, but something similar. But just by those two groups linking up and kind of chatting before everything happened shows that there is a little bit of structure when it comes down to the political side of things with inmates. It ain't just rip, stab, shank, and run all the time. You know what I mean? It's a little more coordinated, planned.
He's trying to get a racial thing going between the whites and the blacks. Yeah, he's a white guy. He's an older white guy, maybe in his mid-40s, trying to get these younger kids up and coming to join him.
Walpole is an outdated, maze-like facility, but the IPS security unit has managed to turn the ventilation shafts and inner corridors into hidden listening posts.
Wow. We do come down here and monitor them, but if they hear our radio going or if they hear us creak on one of the grates, what they'll do is they'll yell IPS behind the block, so that way it warns the other inmates in the unit that we're back there.
A Delta Force mission here, pretty much. Going underneath the prison with the pipes and the rats. Just so they could get behind the walls of a cell and hear those shot callers make their plans. Unreal, man. Wonder if they were doing that in the prisons I was in. Blowing my mind right now. Blowing my mind.
But as long as we're quiet, they should have no indications that we're back there.
Be careful there with your flashlight, because that window right there is not a one-way mirror. They can see you.
Wow.
We're gonna go up to the 7th floor now.
This is wild, man. I need a WD that jank.
What cells should we have
We head over to 33.
Wow.
Did you copy that?
Yeah, I'm there right now, but I can't make it out.
Whoa, is that cash? That's cash.
Did you get anything out of that?
And Paul, what cell do you have now?
The whole crew is in cell 34. But they're in front of the cell, so I don't know what you can pick up. They can see you out of it.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Just like back in the day, ending it on a cliffhanger. Didn't mean to do it like that. Actually got a lot of errands to run today, and someone's on their way here now to fix something, so I gotta go. But we'll finish this up tomorrow. We're only halfway through the clip. So stay tuned, hit that notification bell, set it to all. I don't want y'all missing a thing. In the meantime, though, as always, y'all be easy, be safe, and more importantly than anything, stay free.